And I might say it's a great pleasure for me to be here today and join my wife and be in the presence of what I consider to be the greatest natural resource that we have in this state, and that's our wonderful, beautiful, capable, intelligent Texas women. It's exciting to be here because you're going to be listening and learning and dreaming about the next chapter of your life, especially because our great state is kind of going through the same thing. Together, we write the next chapter of the Lone Star State. And you think about our long and distinguished and sometimes complex and difficult history. There was a time when we were under foreign rule. We had to battle for our independence. We emerged as this leading producer of energy in the world to this status today of an international leader and this nation's leader in the economy that we find ourselves in today. And when I think about that past, I think about how much we've changed. Some of the things that were said about Texas in those days. General Sheridan, as he lived here in the 1850s, I believe, said that if he owned hell in Texas, he'd lease out Texas and live in hell. Yeah, we've come a long way, baby. Our story's been written by Texas men and women who've been willing to take risk and work hard in their pursuit for peace, prosperity, personal freedom. People like you. Texas has been a land of opportunity, but our citizens have persevered through their share of trials as well, including two major crises that have just hit us in the past month. Since Hurricane Ike devastated southeast Texas and hit Houston with unprecedented fury, the people who live around here have shown the world how Texans get back on their feet. Hard work, creativity, neighborly compassion. Those same qualities will be needed even more in the months to come as our state deals with the lingering effects of Hurricane Ike. It'll be a while before we know the total cost, but I suspect the financial impact of that devastating storm will be substantially larger than the $11.2 billion initial request that we made from Congress. You know, when you consider the resources devoted to dealing with that storm, the cost of countless lost days, the destroyed homes, the shattered businesses, that price tag is going to be a hefty one. And that doesn't even touch the tragic loss of life that we suffered. Ike's influence is being compounded by another storm that's unleashed its fury on the world's financial markets just a few weeks ago. After years of irresponsible borrowing and lending, our nation's credit markets essentially imploded and left us holding the bag. You can ask me afterwards what I think of the situation, but for the purpose of the discussion, I'll just simply say that given $700 billion taxpayer dollars to mismanaged companies doesn't sound like the free market at work to me. So enough said. Here in this room today, I'm certain that each and every one of you has already been affected by this new storm, this financial storm, if you will. And whether you're a business owner thinking of putting an extension or an expansion plan into place, an employee wondering if your project will still be funded, or the leader of a family figuring out how to make ends meet. All of us are being called upon to tighten our belts to endure this challenge. In times like this, state government should be no different, and that's why I've asked the heads of the executive offices, the agencies of state government, to look at how their discretionary spending can be cut in this upcoming budget, regardless of what approaches they choose. The bottom line is this: in an economic turndown, all state agencies need to dial back the spending, and they got about 10 days to tell me how they're going to do it. I'm also starting conversations with Texas employers, business groups, to learn firsthand what they're seeing on their bottom line so we can stay ahead of this situation. Now, do I think we need to panic? Absolutely not. However, we are called to be good stewards of our resources. Whether you're a business leader managing investors' expectations or family stretching a paycheck, or part of a government committed to wisely handling the resources entrusted to us by Texas taxpayers. As leaders, we're obligated to not only monitor the outside forces affecting our situations, but to deal with them proactively. We've been proactive through the years, making tough choices that have helped our state attain the overall strength of the economy that it has today. Anita can tell you that our personal story includes a mountain of criticism came our way when we fought the battles of fiscal discipline back in 2003 and lowering taxes and reducing state spending. I am pretty sure we also made a bunch of personal injury trial lawyers pretty mad when we reformed a legal system that was running people out of business and restricting the health care that was available to people across this state. And we worked hard to create a regulatory climate that's predictable and reasonable during that same period of time. And as a result of those tough choices, our state's economy is better equipped today than any other in this nation to handle the crisis that we see in 2008. Texas is still the #1 state in the nation in exports. Half of the jobs created in America in the last 12 months were created in the Lone Star State. There are more Fortune 500 companies that call Texas home than any state in the nation. On the financial side, Texas has the lowest loan default of any of the large population states. Our unemployment rate is well below the national average in the most recent reports. Earlier this week, Financial Times published a study titled, "Which States Are Suffering Most?" and concluded that Texas is suffering least. They ranked us #1 overall, along with the University of Texas Longhorns in football, I might add. But they ranked Texas #1 overall, based on our national lead in categories like the growth rate of annual income, employment, gross state product. I believe this newest chapter of the story of Texas will have a happy ending because our foundation is strong. Our future is bright. And we have people like the women in this room playing an essential role in our economy. I'm convinced that the strength of our workforce, the health of our business climate, the freeing effect of our low taxes will carry us through this rough patch. As long as people like you continue to work hard, exercise physical discipline, keep an eye on the future, while expecting the same of those who represent you, the story of Texas will not be a cautionary tale. Instead, our story will be one of a state built and maintained by people who value hard work, personal responsibility, and concern for their neighbors. That's a story that we can all help write. We'd want all across the country to read, and we can help make happen. So I want to say congratulations for being here today to be a part of the next chapter. Your life will never be the same again. As you listen, as you learn, and as you dream here at this conference, I pray God will continue to bless you as He blesses our state through you.